Thanks for joining us tonight for your news at 6. I'm Amanda Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Daniel Siemens. The fire near Ash and Supply that was under control last night is once again out of control.
WWY's Dustin Dorsey is back on the scene, live in Brunswick County, with more on the latest conditions. Hi, Dustin.
Guys, last we heard, the fire is now 60% contained, and fire crews, as you can see, are still on hand behind me to contain the rest. There's still a fair amount of smoke and plenty of wind coming through, and that's what caused the fire to spread earlier today. This is what it looked like on Macatoka Road just down the street. The fire jumped that road and continued towards 211 before fire crews could get on top of it. Brunswick County Fire Marshal Scott Garner says that the roads are back open with the exception of part of Macatoka Road due to the smoke. Flames were visible earlier in the area behind me, but it has since cleared out. Now, residents were asked earlier to leave their homes, but they are able to return at this time. Garner says the cause of the fire today is likely due to the fire yesterday. We will have more information tonight on WWAY. For now, live in Supply, Dustin Dorsey, WWAY News. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Dustin. It is a bill designed to fix what state lawmakers call an oversight.
Last year, legislators passed a law limiting class sizes, but now that could mean getting rid of extracurricular activities. WWY's Kirsten Gutierrez has more on what state leaders are doing to avoid that.
PE was probably one of my favorite courses next at lunchtime.
A course that could be cut. Last year, state lawmakers voted to reduce class sizes for kindergarten through third grade.
The majority voted to reduce class size, but without thinking about what the implications of that were going to be.
As it stands now, that would mean school districts would have to start cutting non-essential classes such as art, music, and PE to have enough classrooms.
I think the creativity and the arts are incredibly important. It allows our children to explore other ways of thinking, and even if you're talking about math, it's important to be creative when you're talking about math, whether you're in an architecture field or engineering field, and we need to make sure that remains part of the curriculum for our kids.
That's why many schools and local lawmakers are supporting House Bill 13, which would modify the average classroom size.
I think it's very important because, as you know, young children have so much energy, and it's tough to have them sit there in a closed-in classroom, so they got to kind of get out there and release all that energy. So I think that's very important.
It's a bill Representative Deb Butler, along with many others, support.
Again, trying to remedy that because those components of any child's education I feel are critical. They've been shown in studies to enhance learning, behavior, and so that's the last thing we want to do is get rid of those type of extracurricular opportunities.
In Wilmington, Kirsten Gutierrez, WWAY News.
If lawmakers don't approve House Bill 13, schools will be forced to cut classrooms from 24 students to between 19 and 21 students, depending on the grade level.
State lawmakers made their way to Wilmington today, meeting with Cape Fear realtors for a legislative luncheon. Senator Michael Lee and Representatives Deb Butler, Ted Davis, and Holly Grange all taking part. The luncheon gave realtors a chance to share their biggest concerns with the lawmakers, and a few of those concerns topping the list: mortgage interest and property tax deductions, the state's school calendar, economic development funding, and beach renourishment.
Wilmington police are investigating an overnight murder that originally was called in as a cyclist struck by a car. Now, police responded to Seabrill Avenue around 11. They found the body of 17-year-old Raymond Kane lying in the road. Police say it was later determined that his injuries were not the result of a traffic crash. If you have any information, please call WPD or use text-a-tip.
New at 6, a New Jersey murder suspect shot himself today when the SBI and local law enforcement officers went to an apartment complex outside of Whiteville to try and arrest him. The North Carolina SBI said in a statement, while calling for 54-year-old Tim McAllister to come out, agents and officers heard a gunshot, entered the apartment, and found McAllister had shot himself. He was taken to the hospital. A homicide task force in New Jersey asked for the SBI's help catching McAllister, who was wanted for murder and weapons violations in New Jersey.
The Pender County Sheriff's Office is investigating an armed robbery at the Family Dollar in Atkinson. It happened around 8:30 this morning. The Sheriff's Office says a person wearing a hooded sweatshirt had a gun and took money from the store. A K-9 was brought in, but investigators believe the person got away in a car.
The Coast Guard transported an injured man from a tugboat near Oak Island yesterday afternoon. The Coast Guard Sector North Carolina Command Center in Wilmington received a call from the tug Brooklyn reporting a 57-year-old crew member had injured his hand. A crew launched from Station Oak Island, and the man was taken to Deep Point Marina in Southport and then handed over to EMS.
Former WWY fifth quarter co-host Trot Nixon was the guest speaker today at the Greater Wilmington Sports Hall of Fame Speakers Luncheon. Now, Nixon played for more than a decade in the Major League Baseball. He primarily played for the Boston Red Sox. In fact, Nixon helped break the curse of the Bambino, so to speak, when the Wilmington native and his teammates won the 2004 World Series title.
Go get him, Trot. Don't forget, this weekend, we finally find out who and where the UNCW Seahawks will play in the big dance. And we're here to help you find out, too. Let's all do it together. The NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show tips off Sunday at 5:30 p.m. right here on WWAY-CBS.
All right, happening tomorrow, Wilmington police officers and firefighters will square off at the Wilmington Ice House for the 5th annual Guns and Hoses charity ice hockey game. The game starts at 4:30. Tickets are $10 per person, and you want to get there early to avoid the long lines. It's pretty popular. All proceeds from the event will benefit the North Carolina J.C. Burns Center at the University of North Carolina.
Have you grabbed your green? A lot of folks across the Cape Fear are gearing up for the St. Patrick's Day festivities in town. We'll tell you what you need to know to have a fun time this weekend.
And the warm weather is playing a big role in bringing in early fruit. We'll show you the impact it's having on one local farm.
The details on the big changes this weekend, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Scott. You know, though usually, warm weather we've seen this winter, Lewis Farms is planning to open earlier than normal.
Storm Track 3 meteorologist Helen Holt was out in Rocky Point today, speaking with owner Cal Lewis about how the threat of freezing temps are quite the concern.
It's a very abnormal year. This is the earliest in history that strawberries have been produced in North Carolina.
Cal Lewis is a third-generation farmer. It's as if strawberries are in his blood.
Strawberries became my father's passion. I picked it up from him.
His life and work revolves around the weather.
And it's a high-risk business, and the reward comes from what Mother Nature dishes out.
And this year, it's been like no other at Lewis Farms. Above-average temperatures prevailed mid-January into February. That caused the local strawberry crop to now be 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Many berries are already turning red, so the stand in Ogden plans to open on March 24th, while Lewis says that typically doesn't open until April. The stand was originally going to open sooner, but some of the coldest air we have yet to see is set to arrive next week, so they decided to hold off.
A strawberry plant, if a blossom gets killed, it keeps coming back until the weather gets hot in the summer. A blueberry blossom is a one-shot deal.
One way Lewis is expanding his production during the off-season is by using solar tunnels, an expensive but valuable addition to have business almost year-round.
I got interested in it to extend our season and have something for our employees to do during the winter.
Using row covers, irrigation, and saying a few prayers, Lewis hopes his fruit will make it through Mother Nature's challenges over the next month. If so, it could be the best season yet.
It's also one of the most potentially productive crops we've ever had.
In Rocky Point, Helen Holt, WWAY News.
The blueberry and blackberry crops will likely be 2 to 3 weeks ahead of schedule as well, we're told. The Ogden stand hours are 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and then 1 to 5 on Sundays.
All right, the big question, what will the weather be like?
I had a privilege today of going to Williams Township Elementary School, and I met with a bunch of, 3 classes. April Smith is the science teacher, and the kids gave me this wonderful card. I'm telling you, they sang a weather song for me, beautifully choreographed, and it is one of the best presentations. I've been doing this for 18 years, and I have to say there are a bunch of smart kids, and we really had a great time talking about different types of weather safety, and we've got a bunch of meteorologists here in Whiteville.
Well,
right
this
now.
says weather wizard. That's what we call them too, kids.
Yeah, weather geek or whatever, but it's okay. You know, it's all right. It's cool to be a dork.
Oh, meteorologist, man. You're like a superhero.
Yeah, we just had a great time. And we've got a video I shot of welcoming me in, and we'll try to get that on during the 7 to 8 o'clock show on CBS.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you, Scott. Way to go, kiddos. And get ready to see some people riding those fat bike tires. Fat tire bikes.
You got
fat tire bikes.
This weekend, the third annual
for you to say.
U.S. Open Fat Bike Beach Championship will be right back with where it is and how you can see it all.
There is a big event happening this weekend.
Tomorrow will be the first day of competition for the U.S. Open Beach Fat Bike Championships. It's right here in New Hanover County. The championship will have an 8, 16, and a 24-mile distance race on Wrightsville Beach. Sean Spencer is the race producer of the championship and says a lot of racers are coming from all over the east coast of the country just to experience the challenge.
Racing on the beach gives another twist. It's difficult. It's nothing easy about it, so it's challenging. And I think the challenge is what draws a lot of competitors to the event.
Spencer says this year's event will have even more obstacles than before.
Tomorrow morning and all day long in downtown Wilmington, there will be one popular color, green, and we hope that it'll keep people from pinching you if you wear it. The annual St. Patrick's Day Festival and Parade is tomorrow. 11 a.m. is when you'll start hearing the sirens and bagpipes and all the folks taking part in the parade. That begins at Red Cross and North Front Street, and then it runs down Princess to Water Street, and then past the Federal Building. The festival runs from noon to 6 p.m. Admission is free.
All right, Scott Dean has a look at your weather for that festival coming up.
What a change from today, guys.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
To see the temperature dropping. Well, some good news here. Starbucks has a cure for spring fever. It's spring-themed cups. Look at that. So each size gets one of these pastel-colored cups with white dots and hand-drawn designs. The cups will only be available for a few days in participating stores. It all starts March 16th. The first day of spring is what? March 20th. That's right, March 20th.
Springy cups.
Go get you some coffee.
Put a spring in your step.
Oh, look at Scott D.
Happy Friday.